What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Dayton Triangles franchise here on Madden 25, featuring 31 other team builder squads to create a revamped UFL. We were off to a slow start here in year number 5, but we started to find our groove, and dare I say it, I think we're starting to find our identity. We have won our last couple of games, the Pittsburgh game being a convincing win, but now we'll take on a Houston team on the road that on paper is a little bit better than us. They're 83s across the board, we're 81s across the board, plus they're 3-2, and they certainly have their fair share of pretty good football players on their team. That's why they have one of the best offenses in the entire league, so it certainly should be a fun battle to certainly dive into. Alright boys, so one of the things that we gotta take care of first is that we actually have a press conference leading up into our matchup that we have against the Houston Roughnecks, as we actually get some questions in terms of our play calling. And I know that we've been a little bit inconsistent offensively, but I think one of the things that we can certainly be proud of, and I'm hoping that they ask us, is, in terms of our running game, or at least something related to our running game, as, we do get some questions in terms of how often we go about converting third downs. And because we are one of the best running teams in the league, I have to assume that if we're at least higher than 45% when it comes to converting those third downs. And sure enough, we actually get a little bit of a morale boost because of that. But with that being said, that was not the only press conference that we actually had to deal with. Later on in the week, we had another chance in front of the media as they ask us what's happening with the upcoming trade deadline. Now, I have actually disabled trades for the time being, so with that being said, that's why I say that we won't be active in this particular trade deadline period, because we can't even make trades to begin with. So I don't know why we're asked this question. So we also have quite a few upgrades that we have, as it seems like almost half of our team is getting some kind of upgrade. So we're gonna go ahead and get that taken care of at least real fast. I want to start with JJ Peters, our former first-round linebacker, who hasn't produced as much as I've wanted him to, but I think, to be fair, we could do a little bit better job of utilizing his talents. We'll work on speed rusher for now, and he's going to stay as an 88 overall, but actually he's going to be held back slightly by a morale deficiency on the roster, but he's still an insanely good player. Also getting an upgrade is Jonathan McGriff, who had a massive performance in the Pittsburgh game, and I really want to work on his abilities further, so he actually will jump up to an 85 overall after this boost. Not anything too crazy, but love to see him as a member of that 85 overall club. Also getting a boost is Greg Sharp, who did have a sack in the last game against Pittsburgh, but want to make him a little bit more well-rounded, so we'll get run stopper here for this particular upgrade, and he'll get bumped up to a 78 with a +2 to block shed. Up next is Isaiah Connor, who is supposed to be guarding that opposite side of the blind side position, where for Isaiah Connor, we're just going to try to work on that power for right now. And so for Isaiah Connor, he actually doesn't move overalls in any way, shape, or form, but he does at least become a little bit more well-rounded of a player. Meanwhile, DeAndre Bazier, who actually just got the development upgrade, he is actually eligible to get some boost to his attributes as well. We'll work on his physicality, and he's now up to a 77 overall, turning into a really nice football player, and I expect him to continue to grow now that he has that star development. Jeff Sharp, our first-round rookie that we are playing at middle linebacker as of right now. He's behind Cameron Spencer on his natural positions, and we're not going to take Cameron Spencer off the field. However, we will work on his run-stopping ability, and he's now up to a 75 overall after the upgrade, +2 to block shedding and tackling, and that superstar development is coming in handy extremely quickly. But then we have a few other players on this roster that are, guys that are mainly riding the bench or playing on special teams. Gabe Truman is one of them. He was a 5th-round pick for us last year, and we're going to work on speed rusher in this particular instance. Pretty good player here now at 74 overall in his 2nd year in the league, but is turning into a rotational piece that we could rely on in the future. Tony Ward, our third-round rookie in this year's UFL draft class, still has some work to do before he sees the field, but we'll work on power. And then after that, he does become a 66 overall. And then the last person that we have is the backup Donovan Smith, who is a little bit on the older side. He actually looks older, but actually is only a rookie. He looks like someone that is like a divorced dad of like 3 kids, man. Absolutely wild stuff here. He doesn't get an overall boost, but his temp boost goes down. So I guess he's now a natural 62. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get things officially underway as we go and take on the Houston Roughnecks on the road for some primetime action. And because we deferred to the second half, we will get the ball to start the third quarter. But for now, Houston's going to start with the ball, and they begin with a first down throw right over the middle of the field. And that's going to be good for a first down, or almost a first down, to Davion Hill, which is their top target. And one of those players that is getting some serious NFL consideration for this upcoming offseason, depending on what his performance is in the in the rest of this UFL campaign. As for now, Houston's going to go ahead and try to run it right up the middle and finds a decent seam. As Greg Jett, who is in the top 5 in rushing in the UFL, he's going to get a first carry for 8, and then use him as a decoy before throwing right back over into his direction in order to put together yet another first down. So far, methodical drive happening here for this Houston Roughnecks squad as they look to get to 4-2 on the year. Well, we're just looking to try to get closer to 500 after an 0-4 starts. Is now 3rd and long coming up as the quarterback sends a man out in motion, looking over to right inside, and is it enough for a first down? Not quite. So I'm very interested to see if they actually go for it here this early or not. And sure enough, they are thinking about it at the very least, but they ended up punting the ball away. However, for us, we end up going 3 and out on our first possession, and so that does mean that Houston has the ball, and they have extremely good field position in order to start this particular drive out. So with that being said, I need my defense to really lock in right about now. 1st and 10 as they throw over the middle to Davion Hill, who finds the end zone. Touchdown, Houston, as Davion Hill is going to get the Houston Roughnecks on the board for the very first time today. However, can our offense respond after going 3 and out on our first possession? We'll just have to wait and see. For now, looks like we're going to see some man coverage across the board. Grayson Heineck able to get loose in the secondary as his first catch goes for an explosive play. First down for the Dayton Triangles, as we're going to be looking to build upon that, but facing 3rd and long, though, as Whitfield faces the blitz up the middle, trying to get it to Leon Thomas. But Leon Thomas is going to drop the pass, and because of where we are on the field, we are going to have to punt the football away. Not to mention, Grayson Heineck did also strain his tricep as well. So Darius Hayward, our 2nd-round pick in the most recent UFL draft, he is going to be taking over full-time at the tight end position, while Grayson Heineck is still trying to heal up. In the meantime, though, we'll be involved in a 2nd and short. We'll try to run up the middle as McGriff does manage to break a tackle and get into that 2nd level, as Jonathan McGriff will go ahead and get his finest run of the day. He was bottled up a little bit on that first possession, but with that being said, hopefully that can get him going a little bit more, as that will take us into the end of the first quarter, and we have ourselves a 7-0 lead that we have to climb. So with that being said, 1st and 10 as we start on the 2nd quarter of action, as we find Jonathan McGriff underneath, and he's able to find plenty of running room as he gets well past the first down marker. Starting to get onto the very echelons of field goal range for Felipe Nichols, but I'm definitely thinking about a lot more than just that particular picking up of a field goal. I will definitely want to respond with a touchdown, as we'll find DeAndre Bazier on the outside, getting loose in the secondary, as he's finally going to be pushed down, but not before getting brought down to the 4-yard line. as we're only a few yards away from matching Houston Roughnecks touchdown the first quarter, and we will. Jonathan McGriff is going to find the end zone. Touchdown, Dayton. And Jonathan McGriff is going to tie things up for us here. And not only did we force the tie, but also forced Houston to go 3 and out. So we have a chance to take our first lead of the day as we try to throw to Jonathan McGriff, who hangs on to it and picks up a little bit of yak for us. Jonathan McGriff, I can already tell, having himself a big day as he, trying to get those workings to, maybe get that X Factor for him someday. That would be a really cool thing to see for him. But for the time being, he is going to get us across the 35-yard line as we're once again threatening this Houston defense, as it looks like they are going to bail out. But actually, we're going to throw to the right inside instead as we find the second-year man out of Oklahoma State's Mitch Woodson, who's going to pick up another first down for us and set up another red zone opportunity. Looking over to the right-hand side as we dump it off to Darius Hayward. But he ends up getting shaken up as well, as we are going to have to take an injury timeout. So Grayson Heineck is shaken up, and then Darius Hayward is also going to be shaken up as well. So expect to see some more Eric Posey, who's our third-string tight end. And he's actually our last active tight end that we have on the roster that is not hurt currently. So that'll be an interesting dynamic to follow from here on out. Might need to rely on that passing game a little bit more as we try to throw it out to the perimeter to Leon Thomas. However, we can't pick up the... we had some pressure there for sure. So now it's 3rd and goal from the 4 as Whitfield drops back, looks around, is going to try to throw it to DeAndre Bazier. Might be one of those things where maybe you should have been better off just staying where you were. I don't know why he went back to the quarterback there. Either way, it did cost us some points, as now we're only up by 3 instead of potentially being up by a touchdown. You hate to see it. So, with that being said, we are going to see Houston back on the field as Davion Hill continues to make his presence felt. He is going to pick up yet another catch. That's already his 5th catch of the day. He's been a very busy man here on this Sunday night primetime action. We're going to need to come up with a quick answer for him in this passing game. Otherwise, it could be a long evening. Looking over the middle of the field as we do end up seeing J.J. Peters make the tackle right away. But it does also end up being caught as they go right into the no huddle. Looking over the middle of the field, they find Davion Hill once again, but it is going to be corralled by the first-round rookie and Jeff Sharp. It's now 3rd and 4 coming up here for the Houston Roughnecks as they'll drop back to pass. Looking over the middle of the field, and it's a first down for Houston. We'll see if they continue to go into their no-huddle stance, as that has given our defense, who's played pretty reasonably well here in this first half overall. See if that continues to give us fits, as I'm glad that Ty Moody at least made that tackle. Davion Hill was able to get loose there. That was going to be 6 points the other way. But now it gives our defense at least a chance to keep them out of the end zone and have this game at least remain tied, because this seems like a very makeable field goal, even for the average UFL kicker, as that's going to be another first down here for Davion Hill, his 8th catch of the day. Like I said, man, very busy person here as one of the last plays of the first half, and they get... Oh, we can't have that kind of mishap in the back end, and it's going to cost us tremendously as Jalen McAllister gives Houston the lead right before we go into the halftime locker room. So that means that we will in fact find ourselves down 14-10. While we get the ball to start the second half, we certainly will have some work to do. With that being said, we'll go ahead and take a look at some games around the league that already have been finalized. For example, the Charleston Dirty Birds were able to beat Charlotte 17-9 as Charlotte falls to 2-4, while Charleston improves to a 5-2 record. In the meantime, Michigan is actually able to beat Louisville 28-21 in a battle of 5-2 teams. And here is what's to come. The Salt Lake City Condors will play DC tomorrow night. And then here's some scores from elsewhere in this league. All right, boys, so we get the ball to start the second half, and I definitely want to get that offensive rhythm flowing for us once again as Hitchens going to throw to the right-hand side. Looking for the rookie tight end, Darius Hayward, who does hang on to this particular ball and nearly pick up a first down. As Jonathan McGriff will try to run forward for the first down, but we're actually not going to get it. It's going to be 4th and inches here, and you know what? I'm feeling a little bit on the bold side. It's only an inch. We're going to go ahead and run for it. We're going with the I formation, and Eric Posey's actually going to get the carry as the fullback running forward and picks up a big first down, one that we would have loved to have, and we got it. Eric Posey touching the ball for the first time this season and makes the most out of it. A 10-yard rush. You'll love to see the effort from your third-string tight end as the injuries will continue to pile up as we have an injury timeout. Anton Mills, the veteran left guard, is going to be sidelined for the time being. So Peter Whitehead will go ahead and slide in at left guard for the time being while we get some information on Anton Mills' injury. As now we have a 3rd and short coming up as we try to pick up the first down through the air as we throw it to Eric Posey, who cannot get the first down. We're going to be just short of the sticks once again. But you know what? Y'all already know that I was standing on business as we're going to go for it here on the 4th and inches. And sure enough, we are going to pick it up here on the ground as Jonathan McGriff will move the sticks for us once again. Here's his rushing stats for today. It's been a solid day for Jonathan McGriff, not a liquid or a gas, as McGriff just showing just how tough of a runner he can be sometime. But the depth of our team is certainly being tested. Yet another injury, this time to Mitch Woodson, the second-year man out of Oklahoma State. And so that means the depth really being tested right now as Whitehead looking over to DeAndre Bazier, who is wide but naked open in the end zone. Touchdown, Dayton. And the Dayton Triangles go on a methodical drive, one that takes up almost half of the quarter. And we're going to be able to reestablish the lead. And not only are we able to reestablish the lead as well, but what we also managed to do is that we will end up going ahead. And we will, in fact, force a 3 and out. So we have a chance to build upon the lead that we have just taken back. As McGriff was this defense was so fortunate that McGriff was not able to have the cutback because he had some open space. Instead, we'll settle for a 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line as Whitfield tries to throw over the middle, but that was kind of a predetermined read there. Thankfully, that pass was thrown low. Otherwise, it would have been intercepted. So, going to try to run for it on 2nd and 10. And sure enough, Jonathan McGriff, again, really starting to find that spark here in the second half. Definitely leaning on that offensive line as we are going to go forward and pick up yet another first down as we try to throw over the middle to Mitch Woodson, and he's going to make the catch for us on the RPO. As that will set up a 2nd and short as we go play action here, wanting a big play downfield. Whitfield fires over the right-hand side, but leaves Leon Thomas just a little bit short. He had a little bit of a crease to get that ball out to him, but Whitfield just, didn't have a solid base to throw from. So it's going to be 3rd and short, trying to get it out to DeAndre Bazier, but that pass is going to end up being broken up. And an interesting decision coming up here, deciding whether to go for the 4th down or not. And you know what? We've been moving the ball pretty well here, so we are actually going to go for it, going to take it out to the left-hand side. Whitfield has a opening, and Heath Whitehead is going to move the sticks. So the gamble actually does pay off, but it comes at a price as Heath Whitehead does end up being shaken up. So thankfully at this point, Jonathan McGriff is back to being healthy, but we're going to need to rely on this passing game a little bit more. It's this time we get the ball out to DeAndre Bazier. First down for the Dayton Triangles, and it goes for a big time play, setting them up inside the 5. Running the ball up the gun, he has Jonathan McGriff up the middle, and he's going to find the end zone. Touchdown, Dayton! And Jonathan McGriff is going to extend the lead. and giving us a little bit of comfort here as well. 24-14, now your score as Houston tries to respond. A massive drive, certainly in the making. 3rd and long coming up here as their quarterback's going to drop in the shotgun. Dropping back the pass, looks over to run inside, and it's not somehow caught. Oh man, McAllister with a big time catch, as I thought our corner was going to come in there and break that pass up, but I put too much faith in the CPU. So drive will continue, but it almost ends in a heartbeat as Daryl McLeod, knowing that he couldn't get to the quarterback, steps back and deflects that pass, creating 2nd and 10. And then how about the 1st round rookie Jeff Sharp covering the running back one-on-one? That is not easy to do. And so it's now going to be 3rd and 10. And it looks like it's going to be a play action coming up. Firing over to right inside as Davion Hill hangs on to it. Matt Arnett is going to be able to force him out of bounds. And with that being said, we are at the end of the 3rd quarter. And with that being said, we got a good game on our hands here in prime time action in the UFL. But with that being said, let's get those 4s up and ready to go as we'll go ahead and officially get things underway. 3rd and goal inside the 10-yard line. Their quarterback's going to have to scramble backwards, and it's going to be an interesting decision here as Jamon Bromley, the free agent acquisition from this past offseason, he's going to be able to apply the pressure and bring the quarterback down into the backfield. And you know what? Houston's going to play this smart here. If they're going to settle for the field goal, they'll make this a 1-possession game. However, we have a chance to put the icing on the cake on this drive. Gotta finish the game strong, and it starts with DeAndre Bazier getting open once again. He's been having a big second half here. The custom former 5th round pick out of Wake Forest. As now, here we go with 7:30 left to play. Whitfield is going to go ahead and run it with Jonathan McGriff running up to the right-hand side and able to get to that 2nd level with a lot of ease as it opens up a good chunk of this playbook for sure. So even if we don't get this completion, which thankfully we will, once again with DeAndre Bazier, we probably would have still went for it on 4th down because, hey, they haven't really been able to stop our running game now, have they? So with that being said, 1st and 10, let's go ahead and put that running game to the test once more. It's going to be a cutback to the right-hand side. Jonathan McGriff surges forward and nearly picks up the 1st down. Doesn't completely get there, but he was extremely close to getting there, however, as we will go right back to that ground game. And the Houston Roughnecks, as we get into the closing moments of this ball game, they simply do not have any answers for our ground game right now. It's been a joy to watch. As now, 1st and goal, Whitfield fires through right-hand side. He finds Leon Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Dayton. And the Dayton Triangles will indeed take that 2-touchdown lead. And oh man, did Houston really needed that stop. And they get the exact opposite. So we're feeling good, but with 5 minutes left to play in the game still, there is still a lot of football left to be played, and Davion Hill is going to do his very best to get out of his drought as he has 11 catches for 110. It's been a valiant effort, but trying to make it a 12 was costly, as it looks like Jordan Baptiste, the backup middle linebacker, he was all over it like cheese on macaroni salad. And it's going to cause a massive loss here. So they tried to run the screen knowing that our pass rush is really starting to get home. And Jamon Bromley, even on the halfback screen, moving quickly. That's his 2nd sack of this 2nd half. And it creates 3rd and 28. Here we go. Houston dropping back. He's got time. Finds a man over the middle. And it's caught for a 1st down. Are you actually serious right now? We give up a 1st down on a 3rd and 28. Just absolutely diabolical work there, man. I can't believe that happened right before our eyes. Now Houston is running with some efficiency, or with urgency, I should say, as they are going no huddle here for the 3rd time. Make that the 4th time, as we can't get our subs in. Looking over to the left-hand side. Again, flush down the pocket, but it's going to scramble. And it's going to slide, running from the 4th-round rookie, Kyer Furman. And now that's going to be another first down coming up as, oh my goodness. Oh, we had a big interception there, but it was dropped instead. It's going to be 2nd and 10 over the middle, and that's going to be dropped by one of the offensive players as well. Butterfingers emerging here in this critical drive. 3rd and 10 coming up, looking over the middle of the field. He's not liking what he's seeing downfield, and is brought down from behind as J.J. Peters is going to get the sack, leading us into the 2-minute warnings, and that would have been critical for Houston to get that touchdown before the 2-minute warning. Now, when we get the ball back, they're going to have to really utilize those timeouts, but first, they got to make 4th and 16 happen, and how does Ty Moody not make a play on the ball? That is incredible. Lebad, Davion Hill, able to make a big-time play, and it's going to keep Houston in the ball game and giving them a little bit of life as well. So, 1:52 left to play here in the game. We just need a couple of first downs, and we can put this icing on the cake. Whitfield under the center is going to drop back to pass, and actually is going to scramble upfield, just trusting his legs late in the game. That's almost treated as a design run for Marvin Whitfield, really utilizing that really good mobility. But on the next run, Jonathan McGriff, who has been extremely reliable over the course of the entire season, he puts the ball on the ground at the worst possible moment. And now Houston's going to have a chance, a possibility to tie this game up. Looking over to the left-hand side, but it's going to be incomplete. Decent coverage by Jordan Baptiste, but that was a terrible throw. Let's just keep it real on that one. As now we got 3rd and 9 coming up here as their quarterback's going to drop back. Looks over to the left-hand side, wants to scramble upfield, and Denario Allen misses. He had a chance to bring him down for a 3rd down stop, but instead, brand new set of downs for the Houston Roughnecks as they'll have 3 more opportunities to immerse themselves deep into the red zone. 2nd and 10 now coming up, looking around, firing back to the right-hand side, and Davion Hill is going to drop it there, albeit he was going to have struggles getting yards after the catch, which is what they were looking for. Now, 3rd and 10 with 1:06 left to play. Again, dropping back over the middle, and Davion Hill gets hit as he was trying to bring in the catch, and for the 2nd consecutive play, Davion Hill is going to go down without the football. As now it's 4th and ball game here. Looking, trying to find somebody to get open over the middle of the field, but it's well short of the first down marker. And Will Bennett put together an amazing performance. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, but it's not going to be enough to overcome our football team, as the Dayton Triangles are going to find a way to win yet another one, as we're going to be able to win 31-24 to get back in that win column again. Man, so what a battle that just unfolded right before our eyes as we found a way to pull it out, but man, it was a little bit spicy there in that second half. A little bit closer than what I wanted to be. Wanted to finish a little bit better, but we found a way to get the job done at the end of the day, and we are going to be able to get our 3rd win of the season, our 3rd win in the row because of that. Now, with that said, Marvin Whitfield, while he didn't throw for as many yards as he did in the last outing, he was still relatively efficient. Still had nearly 70% completion percentage for nearly 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a solid day today, not a liquid or a gas. Now, for the ground attack, though, Jonathan McGriff looked extremely dominant yet again on the ground. Took a little bit to get him going, but he ended up with 137 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did have that fumble towards the end that almost gave up the win, but the defense was able to, clutch things out. Heath Whitehead had 7 yards rushing, and then a few other guys got a chance to touch the ball as well. DeAndre Bazier, what I will say is that he had another big day for us. 6 catches, 95 yards, and a touchdown. He led all of our receivers by a country mile. There was one other receiver that did find the end zone, and it was Leon Thomas, who was surprisingly quiet in this one. He only had the 1 catch, but he made the most of that 1 catch as he was able to find the end zone at the very least. With that being said, I'm continuing to be impressed by the growth of this defense. Yes, we gave up 24 points, but some of those points were in catch-up, so I thought the defense played really well for the most part. Ty Moody and Delight Cunningham both had 9 total tackles, while Denario Allen and Jordan Baptiste were able to get 7 in this one. We also did a very good job of getting to this quarterback, and the free agent acquisition in Jamon Bromley is really starting to come into his own. Bromley ends up with 2 sacks and 3 TFLs. He was a menace in the interior, but he wasn't the only one to get sacks today. Jordan Baptiste, JJ Peters, and Cameron Spencer were all able to get to this quarterback. Yes, we did not manage to find a way to get some turnovers. We did not force a single turnover in this ball game for the 2nd game in a row, but we are starting to find a identity on both sides of the ball, and that's evident by this winning streak that we're currently on. We also get an update on DeAndre Bazier as he's continued to perform in spite of being a 5th round pick, and because of that, we actually do get some additional XP for him. Alright, man, so we are going to ride that free game winning streak back into our crib. But the next game that we have, well, that next game is certainly going to test us absolutely tremendously, because next episode we will have a rematch of the AFC Championship game from last season, one that we won, but San Antonio is coming into our building with bad intentions. And we gotta make sure that we handle our business, because you already know they're absolutely ready for it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, though. If you did, make sure you go ahead and do a couple of things for me. Hit that like button, and then also hit that subscribe button as well if you do have the brand new to the channel. This is John J Gaming on the mic signing off, but hoping you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.